And so now the big reveal, the 2019 Teacher of the Year is Rodney Robinson. Robinson's students have been accused of crimes, from light offenses like skipping school to serious charges like murder.
You see how you can make a case for each individual person?
There's no difference.
No difference?
My kids are just teenagers. They like cheesy teenage stuff like Teen Wolf and Hannah are their favorite shows. But they just made mistakes and they're paying for mistakes. But America is a country of second chances. And in order for them to achieve and get that second chance, they deserve a quality education like everybody else.
See? It's not all doom and gloom out there. If you hop off Trump's timeline for just a second, you'll find that there are people in this country who care deeply about the future. And one of them is 2019 Teacher of the Year, Rod Robinson.
All kids deserve a great education, but not every kid is on the same level.
He is so much more than just a teacher. He is a pillar of our community.
There are fewer jobs I have more respect for in this world, especially in this country, than teachers. While having immense influence sculpting the minds of future generations, they are underpaid, often undervalued, and are constantly undermined by our political leaders. But despite all of this, people like Rod Robinson reinstall my faith in society. And I'll tell you why. Rod teaches history and social studies at Virgie Binford Education Center, a school inside Richmond Juvenile Detention Center. His lessons are focused on developing socially conscious kids who set out to make the most of their second chance. And this is what it's all about, man. With a justice system that is built head to toe in a way that penalizes people of color at disproportionate rates, many of them children, a second chance is something that may seem like a far-fetched dream, but not in Rod's classroom.
Robinson has become something of a hero himself.
They don't have a ton of bright spots. There's no prom, there's no homecoming, but it's Big Rob.
They call him Big Rob.
Yeah, Big Rob.
To encourage these students, he plastered his classroom with various college banners and motivational quotes from their icons. Two former students were even so inspired by Rod's efforts that they went on to become teachers themselves, which, according to Rod, was one of the main reasons he sought to teach in the first place, to inspire others. But what really amazed me was that in 2015, Robinson was already a teacher, but he chose to move from one school to teach at the juvenile detention center he now resides because he wanted to understand the school to prison pipeline, which, if you are unaware, refers to strict school policies that can often push students from disadvantaged backgrounds to leave school and become incarcerated. Many of the students at Virgie Binford come from impoverished backgrounds, live in high crime areas, and have had negative contact with schools and the judicial system. So Rod took it upon himself to enter into this position with the hope of reinstalling a level of confidence that has been stripped from these kids, telling them they have a place in this world and can achieve their goals. And more importantly, that jail is only a temporary setback. Here's the thing, man. It is so important in our everyday news cycle that we acknowledge stories like this. Stories that install hope and demonstrate how feasible it is to install change, even when others have given up. When people hear the word incarcerated or the term felon, they often look the other way and assume the worst. Take the recent debate over voting rights, for example. More people are taking issue with the topic of those incarcerated voting than the real issue of mass incarceration itself. A new report from Cornell University has found that nearly half of all adult Americans have had a family member incarcerated at some point in their lives. The study shows 113 million adults in the US, or 45%, have had an immediate family member incarcerated for at least one night. Black Americans are 50% more likely than white Americans to have family members who have been incarcerated. These numbers are simply staggering and should be a talking point for any presidential candidate, but few are tackling it head on. So it's nice to know that there are people like Rod in the system who are doing the work from the inside, and we should all take inspiration from that. For more on this, we'd love to hear what you have to think on my Instagram at Francis M. Maxwell. Please go ahead and support independent media. It helps us greatly. Only $5 a month right here. Never miss another breakdown video by ringing the bell below. You'll get notified whenever we publish something new. And don't forget to join TYT today. Download our TYT Plus app on your phone or head over to tyt.com/join.